Recent FedEx rumors indicate that Denny Hamlin is actively exploring a career change off of NASCAR. Denny Hamlin has won the Daytona 500 3 times and is a NASCAR Cup Series icon. Over the course of 18 years, Hamlin piloted the Joe Gibbs Racing No. 11 Toyota Camry. The 48 races he won during his Cup career included 36 from the pole position, and 312 times he was among the top 10. Recently, it has come to light how lucrative it is for Denny Hamlin's longtime sponsor FedEx, and how uncertain his future is with Joe Gibbs Racing, just a few months before the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series season begins. Perhaps in 2023, he will meet the same fate as his former teammate Kyle Busch. FedEx, a major and influential shipping company, has supported Hamlin for a long time. Meanwhile, M&M has been Busch's sponsor ever since the 2020 season closed. In a tweet, Adam noted that FedEx has reportedly decreased quarterly profits and revenues compared to the previous year, and that the company is warned of ongoing declining demand. However, managers said that aggressive cost reductions were limiting the fallout. FedEx reportedly intends to cut costs by $1 billion in 2023, as reported by CNBC.com. Due to lower quarterly earnings and sales from a year ago, the company has decided to implement strong cost-cutting measures to recover. It would be disastrous for Joe Gibbs Racing to lose Hamlin, especially since they are currently having difficulties attracting sponsors. Mike Lenz stated, "Our teams are continuously striving to invent techniques to minimize expenses fast so that we can make more money. As we reach the second half of our fiscal year, we are increasing our efforts to cut costs in light of the continued reduction in global volume." Denny Hamlin could leave FedEx if his contract is not extended. In an episode of his popular podcast, Dale Jr., the 42-year-old said his final goodbyes to listeners and the podcasting community. Given his prior answer to Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s query of whether or not he would quit Joe Gibbs Racing to continue his career with his own team, Hamlin said, "I find that intriguing. If FedEx continues operations, then no," Hamlin remarked. "I'd love to complete my time at Gibbs with FedEx, as it's unusual to find a sponsor who is as invested in the game and as loyal to you as they have been. I could not just give up on them since they've meant so much to me. At that age, I might only run a handful of places before giving up the sport for good. I hope you'll allow me to retire in Gibbs after my time with FedEx is up. Of course, things may change and will change, so you'll need to reevaluate your choices accordingly." On February 19, 2023, at the Daytona International Speedway, Denny Hamlin will race in the next Cup Series event. Hamlin has qualified for the postseason for a 6th consecutive year and won races in Richmond and Charlotte. 9 other times he placed in the top 10. Hamlin won the Coca-Cola 600 after the race was extended to a record 619.5 miles. Hamlin has set a new record for most overall racing miles won in a Cup race with this victory. Congrats to him for making it to round 8. His stellar regular season carried over into the playoffs, where he got off to a tremendous start by finishing second at both Darlington and Kansas. His cars were always fast enough for him to lead for several laps at Las Vegas, Dover, Darlington, Nashville, Michigan, and Martinsville. Consequently, it's hard to think of a better example than Ross Chastain. In the second-to-last lap of the payoff race at Martinsville, Chastain made a daring move that knocked off Hamlin. Hamlin's lack of success in the season's remaining 22 races proved disappointing. During the Texas playoff race, there was reportedly a brawl between Hamlin and William Byron. Hamlin had gained up to Byron by the time they reached turn 2 and shoved him into the wall. In reaction, Byron whirled around and gave Hamlin a light spin. As the Atlanta race neared its conclusion, Hamlin and Ross Chastain, who had previously crashed in the Gateway race, shoved each other out of the way. Hamlin has had a lot of success in the Cup Series, but has never won the series championship. This is something you can count on in the year 2023. With only 42 years left, time is of the essence. The fact that JGR's cars weren't the best that year shouldn't prevent Hamlin from making it back to the playoffs. Denny Hamlin gave his followers a rundown of his summer plans last Thursday. In 2023, after the completion of his contract, he will be able to return to Joe Gibbs Racing. Hamlin made these comments before a NASCAR awards event at Nashville's Music City Center. In particular, 2018 Cup Series champion Joey Logano will be honored. Hamlin claimed he would soon be unemployed because FedEx no longer sponsored him. He finished in the top 3 in 48 of the 614 contests. Before last season, when he won twice and finished 6th, he had made 3 straight appearances in the championship 4. However, Hamlin has grown up as of late. Having teamed up with Michael Jordan, he and the latter established 23XI Racing in 2021. When they were more numerous, 2 of the team's drivers from last year won races, Kurt Busch and Bubba Wallace. Hamlin said that his choice to retire from racing had nothing to do with his time with 23XI, but that he did eventually hope to become a full-time owner. Someday, if Hamlin decides to spend more time managing the team and less time driving, I'll have to put my team's ownership ahead of my own, although I still find it difficult to understand that buying a house will not help me retire any faster. My decision to hang it up is unrelated to the success or failure of the racing team. FedEx will no longer sponsor NASCAR driver Denny Hamlin after the 2023 season. According to reports, after the 2023 NASCAR season, Denny Hamlin and FedEx will no longer be under contract with Joe Gibbs Racing. There are no longer many open questions at NASCAR's highest level as a result of recent events like the elevation of Ty Gibbs and Ryan Reese to the Cup Series. Start getting ready for tomorrow today. On a recent episode of NASCAR Radio, Adam Stern of Sports Business Journal discussed the NASCAR industry, and he said that Denny Hamlin and FedEx's contract with Joe Gibbs Racing would end after the 2023 season. The present predicament was exacerbated by pre-existing conflicts about who should go first. Hamlin has been affiliated with FedEx since 2005, when he raced the number 11 FedEx car for Joe Gibbs Racing at Kansas Speedway. The pair is anticipating celebrating their 18th wedding anniversary in the year 2023. The agreements between Joe Gibbs Racing, Denny Hamlin, and FedEx will expire in 2023. Given his recent track success and his co-ownership of 23XI Racing alongside Bubba Wallace and, more recently, Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin is now largely regarded as one of NASCAR's most experienced drivers. Driver, at age 41, has never had any kind of illness before. Due to his impressive resume, he deserves to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Kevin Harvick is older than Hamlin by a long shot, as shown by the fact that he has won 23 races since turning 42. In response to Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s podcast, Hamlin decided he needed to share his thoughts. He had made significant attempts to rectify his past mistakes and move on with his life. Evidently, the driver of Vehicle 11 is equally eager to grab a jump on the competition. Many people were shocked when they heard that Hamlin had left FedEx at Joe Gibbs Racing. Hamlin may have to put off retirement if his sponsor does not renew. He could get back in the game if he could find a new backer for 23XI Racing. Since FedEx has given him their stamp of approval, his commercial endeavors should be fruitful. Even if Hamlin wins the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series season, he may be forced to retire if he loses his sponsor. The resumption of contract talks between Kyle Busch and Joe Gibbs Racing bodes well for a smoother resolution this time around. Will Denny Hamlin leave JGR? Tell us in the comments, leave a like, and subscribe for more videos like this.